Now, the prophecy of Ezekiel chapter 10 is another part of Bible prophecy. This prophecy was fulfilled the year of 2003 when God blew the spaceship over Texas. If you notice in the part, if you went back and you investigated this, that's the reason I made these things plain on tables and put them in there 10 minutes at a time until I get 1 hour on each segment trying to explain you the Bible prophecy. Therefore, when I say that this is light, you will see the light if the light shines, if you don't shut your eyes. And if I say this is rain, you know this rain, even though you might try to pretend that you know this rain. These are the same evidence that God identified the United States of America. As you notice in the sketch I have behind me, as the United States come in the land, they put the large logo, United States of America, so the world will know who this is coming in and out of space. They love to glorify themselves by putting what they do, they think is great, in the eyesight of men as their great accomplishment. But it becomes their greatest curse because what they do with the knowledge, technology, is against the rules of God, which they do work perceive of themselves only, not other nations. They only serve themselves. This is what Barack Obama said just a few days ago as he was speaking to a congregation of peoples at West Point University, where the elect new officers was being born, the peoples who is bred and groomed especially to become killers, strategists of war. Ezekiel chapter 10 is the knocking down of the Trade Center. After the knocking down of the Twin Tower Trade Center building, this is how God called America over there. So I said they're not coming back because Jesus said when he risen from the dead and the prophecy of John that let him tarry till I get here. Don't let him come from over there. He's over there. I'm going to keep him over there until Jesus comes there. So Barack Obama cannot remove the truth because he have no power over God. If he bring them back, the sinister mind people, if he bring the first troops back, they went over there, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines is under the authority of the president. So if the three of them come back, then that fourth one, which is under the authority of the president, as long as they stay over there in Blackwater, and they're going to go through this here because it's in their heart to go, because they refuse Jesus, and they themselves know that Jesus Christ liveth. But we don't, because we don't sit and consider. I'm saying we, but I do, because I was a part of that prophecy as he was slain. Let me go to chapter 10, Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 1. Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubim. He's talking about the space shuttle now. He's talking about this part, the cherubim. There appeared the cherubims. That's two. That's appeared over them. There appeared over them. That's the cherubims. That means we was back down on earth because we was the cherubim. The two witnesses was the cherubims. We was the part that was attached on to the mercy seat. The voice of God was speaking from heaven, which was Jesus Christ, speak to me from above through the mercy seat. His God, if he's God, he could fill heaven and earth all at the same time. But the cherubims, thereupon, over them, as it were a sapphire stone. Going back there to it. And the appearance of the likeness of a throne. Going back to the first part. And he spake unto the man clothed with linen, and said, Go in between the wheels, and under the chair. Talking about the chair. The cherubims is the cherubims of the mercy. There's two different things he's talking about. They was the one on the mercy seat that God had Moses to create in Genesis chapter 25. But the cherub is the space, the single cherub is the face of the spaceship which have a wheel right under this. He said, and you know that Jesus was still up in the heaven, and he was obeying his God as God sent him back down here, and said, go between the wheels. This wheel on the chair is the face, and these are the wheels that's under the wings. And even under the chair, and fill thy hand with coals or fire from between the cherubims. That's the cherubim, which was part of the sacrifice. The three was a part of the sacrifice. It's spoken of when I showed you the three crosses. The cherubim, all three of us made the same sacrifice, and this was the God of the heavens working. But he sent his two witnesses back and scattered them over the city, and he went in my sight. Now the cherubim stood on the right side of the house when the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner court. Then the glory of the Lord went up from the cherub, from the spaceship, and stood over the threshold of the house. And the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was full of the brightness of the Lord's glory. Jesus is the brightness of the Lord's glory. Well, this was the year of 2003, after President George W. Bush had invaded Iraq on lies, said he had weapons of mass destruction. But as we stand in judgment here on earth, the people themselves, the church themselves, have failed God. They all sit and it's all after money, fame, and fortune. The dignitaries of the black race speaks concerning our enslavement and knowing how we fared as slaves, but yet they refuse to speak out against the oppression being going on against God's people over there. That's when God come and he judged the wicked man. These false prophets and false teachers is going to be judged along with them, because they sit there and held not their turn. What's worse than the transgressor is the man that see the man as he transgress and hold their tongue and not say anything out of fear. This is greater than the transgressor. How he know that he would not have changed the transgressor mind if they had spoke a word of disapproval. It don't always have to come by the blade of the sword. But if enough of the world take and let the transgressor know that they don't approve his way, then all of these things that was promised to the earth, that the curse upon the earth, could not go about, because the transgressor himself cannot transgress unless he have a support. He cannot rule the world and dominate the world on his own power, because he is a man of few in stature. But through lies and manipulations, he tells lies, and we believe in him in fear of allowing out there. And when we find out the man, when we look at the statute, how he ruled, he is just a mice, house mice, but he is ruined like allowed to make us think that he has power. This is what I'm talking about. This was the blowing up of the spaceship over Texas, right here. He's going between the cherubim. As this vehicle had dropped below the generator fuel, God told you to go in between wheels. Let me go and read this here a little bit further, because I'm going to have to take and read all of this here and on the next segment, because I'm running out of time. And the sound of the cherubim wings was heard, that you know that was heard even to the outer court, as the voice of the Almighty God when he spake. And it came to pass that when he had commanded the man clothed with linen, he said, take fire from between the wheels, from between the cherubims. Then he went in and stood beside the wheels. And one cherubim stretched forth his hand from between the cherubims unto the fire that was between the cherubim, and took thereof and put it into the hands of him that was clothed with linen, who took it and went out. This was the blowing of the spaceship. They said it was a malfunction, but Jesus, this was a prophecy where Jesus blew the spaceship